Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you could join us for today's exploration into the course.
Yes, welcome back. Today we're looking at the final review.
And our theme is peace. Not the kind of fragile peace the world seems to offer, but that deep, unchanging peace that the course tells us is our true inheritance in God.
We'll be focusing on Lesson 220.
We'll explore how Lesson 200 really sets the stage for the truth in Lesson 220. Let's start with the lessons themselves. Lesson 220. I'm not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me.
And Lesson 200.
There is no peace except the peace of God. Let me not wander from the way of peace, for I am lost on other roads than this. But let me follow him who leads me home, and peace is certain as the love of God.
So, Lesson 200. There is no peace except the peace of God. This one really feels like a cornerstone in the course's teaching.
It absolutely does. It directly confronts that deep-seated belief we all carry around, doesn't it? That happiness, security, it's somewhere out there.
Right. It's a call, really, to stop and look at every single place we've tried to find comfort or safety.
Yeah, it's quite radical when you think about it that way. The course is essentially asking us to stop searching for peace in, what is it called, foreign places and in alien forms.
And that phrase really hits home. It dismantles the ego's whole game plan for happiness.
Which is all about control, right? Or feeling special, getting that external validation.
Exactly. If I just get this job or that relationship or achieve this goal, then I'll have peace.
And it's subtle, isn't it? Because that thinking can even creep into our spiritual practice, seeking specialness in how well we do the course or trying to control our progress. Still the ego's framework.
That's a really important point. So by declaring God's peace as the only source, this lesson firmly but lovingly points us inward.
It forces a reevaluation. What am I really looking for? And crucially, where have I been looking?
It's like the course is saying, stop trying to build heaven out of the materials of hell. Just accept the heaven that's already yours.
So a key takeaway then is that real peace, it's just not found in the world in the way we usually think.
Right. Any peace we chase through things outside us, relationships, jobs, money, the course, calls it a substitute.
And one that inevitably leads to, well, those tough feelings. Bitter disappointments, bleak despair, and sense of icy hopelessness. Strong words.
They are. And it's fascinating, as you said, how we can grasp that intellectually. Oh yeah, peace isn't in the world, but then our actions.
Our daily choices often show we still think maybe this time this external thing will deliver.
But true, lasting peace is an attribute of God. It can only be found within the mind that chooses connection with him.
And the course is pretty clear about how pointless that external search is. It calls our striving a vain imagining.
Like looking for your keys where you know you didn't leave them, but you keep looking anyway.
Yeah, that feeling of foolishness when it says we're trying to make peace of chaos, joy of pain, and heaven out of hell.
The solution isn't to try harder at the impossible task.
No, it's to recognize it is impossible and just stop. Stop the futile search. That's a big shift for many of us studying the course.
It really is, and that leads to the third point. Peace is a gift. It's not something we achieve.
We don't earn it. We don't create it. We don't have to work ourselves into the ground for it.
It's already ours, an inheritance. So our main job isn't achieving peace, but removing the blocks to the peace that's already there.
The judgments, the conflicting desires, the grievances.
Those things that prevent us from recognizing it, which, as you said, is radical because we often think of peace as the ultimate prize at the end of a long struggle.
Right. But is there a risk with that gift idea? Could someone just sit back and wait for peace to arrive?
That's a good question. It feels more like an active acceptance, an active welcoming.
It's not something I acquire, but something I allow, something I welcome in.
Yes. And connecting that back to previous lessons, the mind being the source of everything we experience, the course says the only thing blocking peace is our own decision to refuse it.
That makes sense. It has to be an active allowing, an active choosing. That's where the daily practice becomes so important.
Exactly. And linking it back to Lesson 220, I am not a body, I am free, if that's our true identity.
Then external conditions can't dictate our peace. Our freedom is our inherent state of peace, regardless of what seems to be happening out there.
When I first really let Lesson 200 and 220 land together, it felt like a grand finale to the review section.
A definite line in the sand. Are you truly ready to stop looking for your keys in the refrigerator?
Exactly. They're never in there.
That line in the sand feeling really lands. It's a loving, but yeah, very firm wake-up call.
It forces us to look at how often we still think, if I just get the job, the partner, the money, then peace.
We keep opening that same fridge door, hoping the keys magically appeared this time.
But Lesson 220 reminds us, if we aren't bodies, those external things are ultimately irrelevant to our actual state of being.
Peace just wasn't in them. It never could be. The Course is so consistent on that, trying to make peace of chaos, joy of pain.
It's not that we fail at it, it's literally impossible.
Which is the ultimate expression of the idea that the world we perceive, the world made by the ego, can't save us. Because it can't even define us, as Lesson 220 makes so clear.
And that's where that beautiful reversal happens you mentioned earlier. Peace stops being something to get and becomes something to accept.
To allow.
Right. We've practiced so many lessons pointing to the mind as the source. This feels like the culmination. The only block is our decision not to have peace.
It reminds me of creative work. Sometimes you have to let go of controlling the outcome. This feels similar, a kind of surrender.
For ages, I'd say I wanted peace, but honestly, I was chasing control, believing if I could just arrange everything externally.
Career, check. Relationships, check. Appearance, check.
Exactly. Then peace would magically arrive. But that's the ego's version, isn't it? Conditional peace.
We've been learning to spot that everywhere. On the commute, in quiet moments. It's subtle.
Oh, definitely. The ego says, peace comes after you fix this, earn that. Always conditional.
But God's peace, the peace lesson 200 points to.
That's unconditional. It's available right now, even in the storm, not just after it passes.
That's the huge difference we've been feeling through this review, I think. Finding that still point inside, because our identity isn't the storm. It's the freedom lesson 220 talks about.
And what about that line in the lesson? The part that addresses the voice saying something else might be more valuable.
Oh, yes. That little whisper suggesting, well, peace is nice, but wouldn't revenge feel better? Or isn't being right more satisfying?
The Course is gentle but firm. You might still think there's something else just as valuable, but there is not. It really pushes us to examine those hidden payoffs.
That makes you pause and ask, where am I really placing my value?
And the implication is that forgiveness is the way through. That's the practical application of this.
It's one thing to stop chasing stuff outside.
It's quite another to look at someone you feel has hurt you and genuinely think, you are not guilty. That's where Lesson 220 is essential. If I'm not a body, if I am free.
Then how can I truly be harmed by what another body appears to do? My peace is intact unless I choose to give it away.
And that's when it gets very real. I had this situation with a family member just consumed by resentment, felt totally justified but utterly miserable.
A self-imposed prison.
Totally. Finally had to admit, okay, I am choosing hell here. I'm doing this to myself. The first step was forgiving myself for the attacks in my own mind, for believing I was this vulnerable body being harmed.
That extending it outwards.
Slowly, yes, releasing them from my judgment. And there was this clear lifting, a real internal shift.
That sums it up perfectly. We don't make peace, we just stop resisting it.
And these two lessons, 200 and 220 together, they offer such a clear synthesis of that. It's honestly a relief.
A relief to know we can stop trying so hard.
Yes. Peace isn't a reward for effort. It's a gift waiting right there at the door of our mind.
And we're finally ready to open the door because we're remembering who we truly are. Free, not a body, still as God created us.
This whole review process leading up to Lesson 220 and underlined by Lesson 200, it really shows how the Course builds our understanding, doesn't it?
It does. We started with perception, moved to seeing the ego's thought system.
And now we land here. The peace we sought outside is actually an unconditional internal gift, part of our true nature.
The journey shifts from that desperate external search
to a kind of effortless internal acceptance. It really highlights how coherent the Course's teaching is.
And speaking of applying this, we had a listener question that fits perfectly.
Oh, great. What was it?
How do I replace my unhealthy emotional and physical coping habits in order to find peace? What do I replace them with?
That's such a practical, real-world question. It takes these big ideas right into the moment.
And the Course does give us a clear way to work with this, that practice of vigilance for the ego's thought system.
Right. So we can walk through a practice inspired by these lessons for when you feel that pull towards an old habit, when peace feels threatened.
Okay, let's outline that. This is something you can use right in the moment the urge arises.
Step one is the pause and the witness. The moment you feel that familiar urge reaching for food, checking the phone constantly, maybe just a wave of judgment, the first thing is pause.
Don't act. Just stop for a second.
And witness the urge without judging yourself for having it. You could say inwardly, there's the impulse to find peace where it can't be found.
This comes from thinking I'm a body, but I know I am free.
That pause creates crucial space. It breaks the automatic link between impulse and action.
Step 2. The affirmation. Gently but firmly repeat the core truth to yourself.
There is no peace except the peace of God.
I am not a body. I am free. Even if belief feels shaky in that moment, repeating it redirects the mind.
It's like recalibrating your internal compass towards truth, away from the ego's false promise tied to the habit.
Step 3. The invitation. Now, instead of fighting the feeling, turn inward. Invite help.
Ask the Holy Spirit, okay, I see I'm choosing hell here with this habit, but I want peace more. What would you have me do? Show me how to see this differently, knowing I am free.
That's the little willingness the Course emphasizes. It's the most vital part, that turning towards help.
Step 4, the mindful action. Then listen quietly for guidance. What comes to mind?
It might be simple. Take a deep breath, step outside for a minute, silently forgive yourself for the impulse.
Or maybe it's choosing a different, healthier action that feels aligned with your true self, your freedom. The guidance will feel peaceful, gentle.
Not forceful. Then act on that gentle guidance.
Step 5, the surrender. Let go of the outcome.
You've done your part. Paused, affirmed truth, asked for help, listened, acted gently. Now release it.
Peace isn't found in beating the habit in that instance. It's found in choosing God, choosing your true self, choosing peace in that moment.
And trusting that as you consistently make that choice, the habit's grip naturally weakens. It loses its power because you're withdrawing your belief in its promise.
So to bring it all together, Lesson 200 and Lesson 220 really shows us the futility of looking for peace out there in the world.
All that frantic searching just doesn't lead anywhere lasting.
It guides us to stop that and instead to recognize peace as this unconditional gift already inside us.
Part of our true identity as free beings created by God.
And by choosing to let go of the judgments, the grievances, the conflicting goals,
We stop blocking that peace. We allow ourselves to accept our inheritance.
thank you for joining us in this exploration today. It's a powerful part of the journey.
And remember, these lessons aren't asking you to do more, achieve more.
They're really asking you to stop doing what doesn't work and to remember who you truly are.
Peace isn't a reward for good behavior. It's a gift of God. It's already yours because, as Lesson 220 reminds us, you are still as God created you.
Let's take a moment together and just affirm that peace is my inheritance. I simply choose to accept it now.
We genuinely value hearing about your experiences.
You can always email us
Or find us on TikTok at the World Harmony Project.
We'll continue with the next lesson in sequence next time. Until then.
Keep walking gently, friends.